All right, for our homework tonight, we're going to look at climate zones. So you're going to take your hand out here, and you're going to cut out the globe. And you're going to draw a straight line through the middle. Okay, as close as you can. And you're going to label this the equator. Then about a finger and a half. So like put your finger, whoops, that should have been straight, sorry. Okay, put your finger down, and about the other side of your finger, you're going to draw two other lines. Then go from the bottom about a finger away, and go from the down from the top about a finger away. Okay. So you've got the equator right here in the middle, two zones right here, two zones right here, and two zones right here. And what you're going to do is take those and color them to match this. We're talking about different climate zones. We've been talking about weather in class, and weather is talking about what happens from day to day to day to day to day. And that changes every day. Climates, okay, is the overall weather patterns of an area. So it's like a summary of weather. Okay? Weather is the details, and climate is the main idea, is a summary. Okay? So color each one of these. We're going to do yellow around the equator because this is going to be our tropical zone. Okay? Here, the climate stays pretty hot, regardless of the season. Okay? Because if you think back and look back to our season model, even as the Earth tilts and changes on its axis, the equator stays pretty much the same throughout the entire year. Okay? It stays about the same distance. So they stay pretty hot there. Every now and then they get a tropical season, not a tropical season, a rainy season in their tropical zones. So it'll be like rainy, and they have a lot more rain than they normally do. But a lot of times it stays hot and dry, or hot temperatures even when it's raining. Okay. Then the next two layers right here are temperate. Okay. So the temperate zones have the 4 seasons. Okay. They follow around, and because of the tilt of the axis, okay, for the northern hemisphere, we have summer, and the southern hemisphere has winter. They switch right here. And then when the northern hemisphere has autumn, the southern hemisphere has spring. And then we have spring and they have autumn. Because, again, of this tilt with the equator and our axis, that changes the climate. Then, of course, the top part is going to be our polar freezing zones. Okay? They're going to have freezing temperatures pretty much year-round. And the closer you get, like right here by the equator, you're going to have like a mix of temperate and tropical when you're close to this line. So around the equator, it's going to stay hot. Around this right here, which is the Tropic of Capricorn or Cancer, one of the two, I can't remember. But around those two lines, you're going to have kind of a mix. And so, with Texas and Odessa, we're kind of like right in here. So we're still pretty close, and we're on the edge of a desert, so that also affects our climate. Okay, so even within, these are the main zones. Even within these zones, sometimes you have different things, different climates based on the habitat that's there. So if we're on the edge of a desert, that affects our temperatures. Okay, so be sure you get all of that written down. And on your reflection page, we're going to do Cornell notes. Okay? So they're kind of like 2-column, except this column's small, this one is big. This is where your question is, this is where your answer goes. And then down here, you're going to write a summary. So, your first question is, what are polar climates like and why? What is the climate like near the equator and why? And real-world connection. I want you to summarize what our climate is like here in Odessa.